Oh man, this is what dreams are made of. Eating chicken drumsticks this fancy should be illegal. In this video, I'm going to show you how to up your barbecue chicken drumstick game. So just sit right back, grab a drink or two, and let's get into it. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, it all helps. Chicken lollipops are not a new thing, but can we make them better? I think we can. To make some chicken lollipops, we're going to need some chicken drumsticks, and enter Mick from Gippsland Premium Meats and his chicken drumsticks. 12 to be precise. Now to prep the legs, you're going to want to glove up and you're going to need a sharp knife. And you're going to run that knife around the leg, roughly 5 centimeters from this knuckle, separating all of the skin and the tendons. So go around a couple of times to make sure you get it all. And then you just want to pull the skin back over that knuckle, and you should be able to remove it with a little bit of force. And if you can't, go use a paring knife, but it does come off. And then we just want to push all of the meat and skin down to the end of the bone, so it looks like a little lollipop. And if you come across a drumstick that won't stand up on its own, just turn it over and you can just, using your sharp knife, trim off a little bit of that bone to make a flat spot. And that way, it'll sit up nice and neat like that.
Fancy.
Yeah, right?
You don't have to trim these so they stand up, but at a barbecue or gathering, they're gonna look way more impressive standing up. And now to add some much needed flavour to these lollipops, and start off by adding a light coating of oil and just making sure you rub the oil all over each lollipop. And then I'm opting to use 4 Monkeys chicken rub. Now you can use your own favourite chicken rub or just go a basic SPG, salt, pepper, garlic. And that choice is yours. Just make sure you cover them all evenly. And when they're all seasoned, pop them in the fridge until we get the barbecue ready. Don't leave raw chicken out of the fridge for too long before cooking it, or you'll risk the chance of bacterial growth, and that does not taste good. Today I'm using a 57cm Weber kettle, and I'm pairing it up with a kettle cone because I want to be indirect grilling at a high heat of 240 degrees Celsius today. And how I'll do that is by 3/4 filling a chimney starter with briquettes. I'll light them up. Once they're fully ashed over, I'll grab my kettle cone. I'll place it in the middle of the charcoal grate and I'll dump my fuel into it. I'll carefully place the grill back in. I'll pop the lid back on, opening all the vents, and I'm going to give that 10 minutes to warm up. The kettle cone or vortex works by supercharging the heat in a kettle, forcing the hot air up to the lid and around the outer edges, effectively air drying your food. The grill has warmed up, so we can place the chicken lollipops around the outer part of the grill, as that is where the high heat from that kettle cone is being forced. And I'm adding a chunk of smoking wood, and today it's cherry, and then popping the lid back on, and we're gonna let them cook away for 45 minutes. And we need this chicken reading a minimum of 74 degrees Celsius internally to be classed as no death chicken. By cooking food with a high indirect heat, we can ensure we won't get fat flare-ups from any of the juice and fat falling on the hot embers. If you didn't know, the Weber lid vent creates a hot spot as that cold oxygen is sucked in through the bowl vents up and around our food and then forced back out through this lid vent. So to ensure even cooking when using a kettle cone, I recommend turning the lid 1/3 of the way every 15 minutes during the cook. Do you really need to turn the lid while cooking? No, you don't. But you can also risk the chance of overcooking 2/3 of your food. Today I'm using high indirect heat to cook with, and all up, these chicken lollipops are gonna take 50 minutes to be ready for your face hole. Or for those of you who love to use my beer timer, you're looking at a 2-beer cook. Cheers.
We need more.
The extra 5 minutes to cooking time is for the glazing, which is coming up next. Once the chicken is cooked, we need to glaze them with some sauce. And just like the rub, you can just use your favourite. And I'm using this pomegranate habanero jungle juice from 4 Monkeys. Just warm up your sauce before applying it to your chicken lollipops. Woohoo! Look at that, crispy chicken. Now just dunk each lollipop into the warmed up sauce. Place them back on the grill, put the lid back on, and we're going to let that glaze set for 5 minutes. The chicken is cooked and we don't want to leave it in there cooking for too much longer, or we risk the chance of drying it out and we want it to stay moist. Ah, sneaky smart. I like it. The lollipops are done. We just need to get them off the heat and pop them onto a serving platter. How good does that look? Just give them a couple of minutes to cool down and then serve. Now that sauce is tasty, but it's also hot and sticky. So let it cool down for a couple of minutes before digging in, or you'll get burnt.